Hi, everybody. It's Nancy Danter here from Toronto, Canada. And
Hey, Nance, it's Debbie Salmons from outside of Boston, Massachusetts. How are you, Nance?
great. How are you?
Fantastic. Good to chat with you again.
Always good to chat with you.
I know.
We're just continuing on with our series from an article that was written about 50 ways happier, healthier, and more successful people live on their own terms. That title of that thing
Are we
sounds
gonna go?
crazy.
Are we gonna go through all 50? Because I think we should eventually go through all 50.
Some of them are way out there. I mean, they really are. And I mean, I'll give you one example is, let me see if I can find it. Cause I was like, I don't know if
Okay, because
Debbie,
neither you nor I are way out there at all. So
well, I don't know.
just saying.
I do not know if you would do this one or not. Cause
Well,
this
let's
one,
see. Throw it at me before we go into our topic.
okay, replaces warm showers with cold ones.
No, never mind. Never mind. Moving on. Moving on.
Well, so that's why I said we could revisit that one. And I mean, Tony Robbins, apparently he jumps into a cold pool every single day. It invigorates and gets your blood flowing. So
Well, I won't get us off topic. We'll go to it another time, but I will tell you this. You know that I love Florida and I've lived there 20 something years. And I do in the summer take a cold shower, but we can move on and we'll talk about that another time.
that's why, because it's got to be 175,000 degrees there, and you can't, a hot shower would just be stupid. Like, I think you're meant to do it at like all times, not just,
Well, we'll investigate. We'll see. I'll do my own research.
Well, okay. Here's a challenge. We haven't even, this was not what we were supposed to talk about, but here's the challenge is that if we're really going to live by some of the things, to be the 50 things that the people that are happier, healthier, and more successful do, maybe we should start thinking about a cold shower in the morning. Just
okay,
saying.
well, let me just say this. If you throw down the gauntlet, I'll do it. I have a little bit of a competitive nature. But here's the deal. I think that also added to that list should be physical activity, like walking over beautiful bridges and that type of thing. So I'm just thinking cold showers, walking over bridges, just a thought.
I don't
Just a
know.
thought.
I don't know if I'm there in my journey yet to start the cold showers. Okay, so back on topic. What we wanted to talk about tonight was, this was number 23 on the list. It said, consume at least a tablespoon of coconut oil once per day. So I know that's a practice you've been doing and I've been doing. How have you been incorporating coconut oil into your life?
Well, what's really funny is the first thing I ever kind of read about coconut oil, and it was a list saying all the different benefits of it. And one of them was called pulling, coconut oil pulling through your teeth. And I started doing that probably, I want to say 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And it was really freaky to me at first, because you would take a scoop of the oil, which is, really hardened, and you basically put it in your mouth and you keep it in there and you suck it through your teeth and all of that. But then you spit it out. And so that was a bit strange. But then when we started looking at this keto life, that's all everybody talked about was coconut oil. And the first way they talked about it was in what's gone viral now is the bulletproof coffee. And they said, make your regular coffee or tea, put some coconut oil in it, put some unsalted butter in it. Well, I don't drink coffee at all, as you know. I did try to do it by heating some hot green tea. And it was really funny because I think you did it the same way. I just made the tea and I put a little bit of artificial sweetener in it. And then I put the butter and I put the big scoop of coconut oil and stirred it all up, and it melted. And I drank it, and it felt like I had grease all over me. The taste wasn't terrible, but it just felt ew. So I didn't really dig that a lot. So then I started reading up about how to cook with it, how to use it in cooking. I use it, the way I get the most of it in my diet now is through fat bombs, or as our good friend Tim Frey likes to call, snack bombs, which is a little nicer. And I, for breakfast, will often eat what we call a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup fat bomb. And it's made of organic, really healthy, low carb, low sugar peanut butter. I use cocoa powder and a little bit of butter and a huge amount of coconut oil. And we put them in a little silicone type of ice cube tray and freeze them. I just pop them out whenever I want them. And I probably eat 3 of those a day. In general, in the morning, if I get hungry in the middle of the day, and then it's kind of my evening snack, maybe around 7:45, because I don't eat after 8. But I add it anywhere I can. And I've got coconut oil in all kinds of different things. I've got coconut shortening. I've got coconut manna. I've got the coconut oil. I even have, I don't think there's really, I'm not ingesting any good amount, but I have coconut cooking oil. So, and it burns at a real high temperature. So I try to add it into everything I can. And I don't know about you, but the cooking oils, I don't know if you've used the cooking oil. It doesn't have a coconut flavor. It's actually got no flavor at all. So, you know, a lot of people go, oh, I don't like the flavor of coconut. You don't have to worry about that, because it doesn't, in a lot of the different products, it doesn't have the flavor. I can taste it in the oil that we use to make the fat bombs, but I like it. So I know you do it in your coffee, right? So
yep.
Tell me about that, because you make a yummy sounding coffee too.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of different flavorings and things like that. I mean, the purists that are pure keto, they would not tell you to get any of the Da Vinci or the syrups that you get that have the different flavored syrups that are sugar-free, because those have sucralose in them. And so purist with the ketogenic lifestyle would probably say stick away from those. I use them sparingly. You can use just plain vanilla extract. You could do peppermint extract. You could do any of the extracts, don't have any sugar in them. I do about a coffee that's about this big in the morning with full, I use like the full fat cream, but not the whipping cream, but I should use whipping cream, but I don't. I do about 1 tablespoon, a big good tablespoon of coconut oil. And I cut back on the butter in my Bulletproof coffee only because Dustin Schaefer, the guy that's sort of advising us, has indicated that all the fats is still calories in the morning. So he kind of told me to pull back a little bit off of that. So, but I still do a tablespoon of coconut oil in the morning, and with a flavor and a little bit of stevia plus my cream and my coffee. And I put it in the blender and I just zzz, and honestly, it tastes like a latte to me. And I do different ones and I love them. Now I love it. But you're right. When I first started doing it, I didn't know to blend it. I put it in there and I'm stirring it like crazy. And then I'm drinking and I'm wiping my mouth with a napkin because I'm thinking, oh, it's so greasy. But it didn't taste bad. It just was like greasy. But when you blend it like this, it's terrific. It just tastes like
you're busy. I remember the first thing I did, which want to hear really bad. Not only did I do the coconut oil, but I had unsalted and salted butter, and I put salted in it. Oh, was that horrible. But you know what I thought I also did one time? Somebody said to me that they had a challenge. It was actually a challenge online. It was a bodybuilding group, if I remember correctly, and it was to eat scoops, just scoop out coconut oil and eat it. Yeah. And it was this whole big challenge to do that. Well, I did do that for a little while. Now, I didn't do the amount that these guys were doing. Like, they were just going crazy. They were eating like 6 tablespoons or whatever. But I have done it that way a couple times too. It's just my least favorite way because, well, it's not really satisfying. It's
No.
just kind of like just getting it in, right?
Yeah,
But
and I
I
mean,
have seen recently a lot of people doing that.
I know I just can't get my head wrapped around that either, but I've seen it too. What I love is just a simple fat bomb recipe, real simple. I mean, your peanut butter ones are pretty simple, but you melt down some coconut oil and you just sprinkle some cocoa powder in it to kind of till it looks like liquid chocolate. You sprinkle in a little stevia. You spread that out on a baking tray with parchment paper and then just sprinkle in some almonds. And
Yep.
pop that in your freezer.
I've done that one too.
And it's like almond bark. Tell them the story about Dylan eating the first time we did this. Remember, we were so stupid at this. We had no idea what we were doing.
We had no clue. And of course, I'm not very good at following measurement recipes. My husband loves to bake. I like to cook, where I toss things in. And so, yeah, and it was that recipe, if I remember correctly. And because I know I was putting almonds and some macadamias, and I put it out, just like you said, on a whole sheet, let it, solidify in the freezer, and then cracked some out and gave some to Billy, gave some to both my sons, myself. And we were all like, wow, this is fantastic, right? And I, had a little bit, and then later that night I went to bed, and I got up the next morning and I went in the freezer and it was all gone. And I thought, what the heck? So I went to my husband. No, I haven't had any. I had some last night. I asked my others to no, I didn't have anything. So that leaves Dylan, my 17-year-old. And I go, Dylan, I know you really liked that last night. Did you have? And he goes, yeah, it was so good. I ate the whole tray. And I said, oh my gosh.
Didn't he say, well, you said it was okay.
Yes, because he said you said it was okay because it was keto and there was no sugar and it was good for us. And I go, well, yes, it's okay to eat, but not the whole tray. And I looked at him and I said, did you sleep last night? And he goes, well, not that great. Why? And I said, well, that really could have given you some stomach troubles. And his face, like his eyes bugged out. He turned red and he goes, that was what was wrong with me. And because he was in the bathroom all night long. So don't eat a tray. Yeah. Don't eat a tray.
So I guess that goes to the point of when you add, so couple of things here. What this article doesn't really say, I mean, I guess taking a tablespoon of coconut oil is healthy for anybody, but for people that are wanting to follow a ketogenic lifestyle, the key is to bring your carbohydrates down. And as you're bringing your carbohydrates down, you slowly increase the fats. The worst thing you can do is start increasing your fats without getting rid of your carbohydrates, because that's just going to make you fatter, like it really, really is. So it's going to have the reverse effect of what you want. So what you want to do, and as you're doing this, you want to go really slowly. So I did not start with a tablespoon of coconut oil. I started with a teaspoon. And every single time I went to raise the fats,
yeah, you had trouble.
I had some tummy troubles. So I'm highly recommending that as you morph into this, that you go at this slowly. And so even now, I'm pretty similar what I do on a day-to-day basis now, but every single time I increase my fat intake, I have a little GI distress every single time. So just be aware that of yourself, of your own body, and you have to listen to your own body on this. So I would say,
and that's so important, Nance. That's so important with this whole lifestyle and all of these things, is really for people to understand that this is not a one size fits all. This is the way you do it. The key is to have these options, learn about them, and integrate them into your life suited to you and your needs and how you are getting in tune with your body.
Yes.
Because we can't all do the same thing. I didn't have the distress you had, but I had some other situations, So it's really important if we can stress that to everybody, please pay attention to your body. And if you're having issues, back off a little bit or reach out, figure out where things might need to be tweaked. Because like you say, it's really important too, when we talk about fats and coconut, coconut oil and all of that, a lot of us think, well, it's bad for us. Well, it's bad for us, like you said, if you're not lowering the carbohydrates and the starches. The fats with the bad carbs, or the starchy carbs, are what cause the health issues. That was news to me. I didn't, that was a whole new research area that we found out about, and it's really, really good to know.
Well, and I think too, for all of the people that are doing the ketogenic lifestyle, and those that have added in the Keto OS product, the thing with that product is that there's MCT oil in there, in that product, which is very similar properties to coconut oil, and it's still an oil. So when you're bringing in your coconut oil, and then you're also, in addition, taking your Keto OS, just be mindful that you're still consuming, there's still that oil in there. So again, for your tummy, just to be mindful about that. That's all. And that's why we even say, when you're starting with the Keto OS, you want to start slow. Start slow and see how you react. And it doesn't mean you're always going to be there, but you let your body have time to adjust, because for the majority of people who've been living on a high carb, low fat diet, your body is kicking out digestive enzymes to process that kind of way of eating. And as you switch to this kind of way of eating, your body's got to produce new enzymes. So it takes some time for the body to kind of, because it doesn't just do things on a dime. Yeah, okay, you may have made a decision that you're changing, but it doesn't know that. It needs time to make the adjustments. So I would
exactly.
Yeah. So I just thought I would read a little bit of what this article had said about coconut oil, just so you have an idea of how good this is for us. It says, coconut oil is one of the healthiest foods on the planet. Now think about that for a second.
I know, on the planet.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big thing.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
It says there are 7 reasons you should eat coconut oil every single day. Number 1, it boosts HDL, which is your good cholesterol, and simultaneously blocks LDL, bad cholesterol buildup. So before I read the other ones, how many times, Debbie, has somebody said to you recently, oh, you're eating all that fat, your cholesterol must be off the
I can't
chart.
even count. Can't even count.
So just in that one statement, I'm going to read it again because it's that important. Eating coconut oil as a fat that you are consuming, it boosts your HDL, which is your good cholesterol, and simultaneously blocks the LDL, which is your bad cholesterol buildup. So for no other reason, if you've got a family history of bad or high cholesterol, for no other reason, don't even talk about the ketogenic diet. Think about that.
Right, because otherwise you get put on all these statin drugs. And again, we're about, a holistic, inward approach rather than these Band-Aids that most of us are getting sold,
Well, and again, you and I aren't making any medical claims. We're reading articles.
No, absolutely.
We're reading articles.
Right.
And there's a lot of documented research stating what I just stated. That just happens to be listed in this article. But that's not a medical claim.
And all we do, I just have friends that are sharing their numbers with me,
Yeah.
And like they say, I can't say what it's going to do, for you, Nancy, or what it is, but I had my blood done. I did this for a month, had my blood done again, and it's great. So again, track stuff on yourself, not, because we can't make these claims, but take charge of your health, track it.
Yeah. Next thing, get this, coconut oil. It has special fats that help you burn more fat, have more energy, and maintain healthy weight. So eating fat helps you to burn fat. Think about that for a minute. How weird is that?
I know, and it's how long have we kind of been convinced of the opposite of that. And we've been convinced the opposite of that. And at least in the US, we've seen the waistlines get bigger and the population get sicker. So make your own kind of assumption about that. Take a look at that.
Exactly. Next, it fights aging.
Yay!
And keeps you looking and feeling young. It fights aging. So far.
Do I have wrinkles?
Listen, so far, coconut oil reduces the bad cholesterol buildup, increases the good cholesterol. It helps you to burn fat. It helps you to fight aging, and it helps to keep you looking and feeling young. How can this thing get any better?
I don't know. I gotta go. I'm gonna go now because I'm gonna go get another jar of coconut oil with my spoon.
Exactly. No wonder people are eating it with a spoon.
Oh, just saying.
Here's another one. It reduces fever and acts as an anti-inflammatory. And what was the thing? And we will talk about this on another little thing, but all about how bad inflammation is. It's like the number one thing terrible in bodies.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole series about that because there's so much to be told.
Yeah.
All disease really starts from inflammation, and we all, no matter how healthy you are, have inflammation.
Yeah.
So the key is to keep it low.
Yeah.
So that's all we'll say about that tonight.
Yep. So reducing fever and acting as an anti-inflammatory. Here's the next one. It's antibacterial and thus wards off possible illnesses. So move over vitamin C. Coconut oil is
Throw away the oranges. Get a coconut.
Get a coconut. Okay. Now here's another biggie. It improves memory and cognitive functioning, even for people with Alzheimer's. How many?
Amazing.
That alone,
huge.
Okay? That is one of the things, I don't know, you think about illness, right? And you see people that are elderly have one of two things. They either have a very good, healthy body, but their mind is just gone. And that's sad. Or their mind is sharp as a tack.
And their body's
gone. And I'm thinking to myself, when you think about those two alternatives, I don't know which is worse. I would love to have a healthy body and a healthy mind. And I think because I'm taking coconut oil every day, I'm protecting myself.
I think you're going to start taking it with a spoon.
Yes.
Just saying.
That's right. Maybe I'll dip it in peanut butter or something. Okay, here's a biggie. This is the final one. It says it can boost testosterone for men and balance healthy hormone levels for both men and women.
Oh, no hormone issues here at 53.
Although I will say I do feel a little more stable. I wouldn't say that it's completely gone. The crazies are not completely gone, but I do feel a little bit more stable. I will say that.
I feel like my crazies don't last as long. Let's put it that way. I still have the crazies, but they don't necessarily last a week.
Right. And I'm thinking now, after reading this and discussing this with you, when we get the crazies, we just need to tell each other, take some more coconut oil, quick.
Yes, go eat the coconut oil.
Go get some coconut.
And I do tell everybody that is, looking at a keto lifestyle and the Keto OS product, and they're kind of like, how do I start? I go, coconut oil needs to be your new best friend. That's the first item I tell them, because they're like, what do I buy? And I go, just get coconut oil, and then we'll move from there. So got to start with that. It's vital.
It is vital. It says eating a small amount will give you a shot of energy without any side effects. So coconut oil is one of the keys to the ketogenic way of life, 100%. And even if you are not on a ketogenic lifestyle, do yourself a favor, go and get some coconut oil and start to put it on. Not to mention how smooth and lovely it makes your skin feel. And as you said, try doing the pulling thing with the teeth. And so I
know a lot of women that use it on their skin. They use it
Yeah.
on their skin too. You
Yep.
know, so it's a pretty amazing product. And
Yep.
let's, just think about how long really coconuts. I mean, they've been here forever, and they're actually one of my favorite fruits. When I first moved to Florida, it was one of the things I couldn't wait to get a coconut and eat fresh
Well,
coconut. I love it.
Hey, listen, Gilligan's Island, they lived on
That's
those
right.
coconuts forever. I don't even know
Yeah.
how they all survived, but they were surviving on a
But
lot
they
of coconuts.
And Ginger was looking good the whole time too. So she was
Oh,
staying young.
seriously. And
Yeah.
they use the shells for phones and all sorts of things.
Oh, coconuts and coconut oil. It's the way to go.
It's the way. Coconut oil is the way to go. Anyways, if you like our information, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. And we've got a fantastic little Facebook group called.
Yeah, come join us. It's called Keto Messengers Being Better. It's a great community of people that are striving to be better every day and a little bit different. Send me a message, send Nancy a message, look for us, and join us in being better.
Good night.
Bye, Nan.